Good morning and welcome to the morning break. I don't know why I did that. That is interesting. Okay, let's try this. Welcome to the fact that they did all kinds of updates just like 5 minutes ago. Molly and I basically went, this is not good. My name's Molly, and yeah, that was fun. That is amazing. Thanks, guys, for doing it at like 10 in the morning Eastern time. It's awesome. Welcome to the morning break. Hey, we love the great folks at Restream, but just kind of like one of those. Hey, why today? Anyway, good things going on though. It was a great weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. It was fun. It was a fun weekend. Our weekend started early. We went Thursday, and to give a shout out to the great folks at the Indiana Gospel Music Association, one of the oldest music associations in the country. In case you're wondering, I was, and they told me. Kristen got to sing there on Thursday night. We spent time in Columbus, Indiana, which, by the way, one of my favorite little towns in the United States. We did that. It was so much fun. Normally I get to go get my coffee there, and if you follow me on social media, you realize already, and you know this, I didn't get to get my coffee, but it's always good because it's got 7 weeks coffee. 7 weeks coffee. It's always in my cup. That's incredible. Good stuff. And so I didn't get to do that, which was a bummer. Kristen, though, did an amazing job on Thursday night. We drove home Friday. Saturday, we had a new Bible study that Kristen and I have started. So if you live in Northwest Ohio, we'd love to see you every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. for our Bible study. And we're doing that, and that's a lot of fun. And then yesterday, Kristen ministered in music again at a place called Huggy Bear. It's really neat. It's a complete campground. We took some video. You'll see that over time. But it was just cool. It's cool. They got splash pads, pickleball, all kinds of cool stuff. So out there, and they every Sunday morning they have a worship service and music. And Kristen brought a great word and also some music. And it's always a highlight for us. Of course, yesterday, Flag Day, one of my favorite holidays. Of course, if you know me, you know I talk about that quite regularly. One of my favorite holidays of the year. And it's just, it's an amazing holiday. Great day spending with Kristen. We had a lot of fun. And just so many neat things happening. By the way, congratulations to the New York Knicks on winning a championship for the first time in forever, like a long time. There was something that said that the Clippers were called the Buffalo Blazers at that time, or something to that effect. And the Sacramento Kings were in Kansas City, Omaha, which I did not realize that again, way before I knew anything about what was going on in sports. So congratulations to the New York Knicks. But here's the reality. I mean, if you're San Antonio, this is a future. You have so many neat years ahead for you. I do. I really look at this and go, this is going to be incredible for them. Complete neat run for them. I think it's going to be OKC and San Antonio fighting it out. And in the East, I think it's going to be the Knicks. I think the Knicks are going to be around for a couple of years. I think Celtics will come back next year. But anyway, for a lot of people, though, it was really tough. Not a great rated basketball championship, which is kind of it's terrible for the NBA. But here's the reality, and for all of you that are out there that are sports guys like me, sports is changing. It's like, I'm not as big, and my buddy and I talked about this last night. I watched maybe 10 minutes of the whole finals, like combined. And this is his first time last night, his first time watching any of it, or was it last night? Yeah, well, anyway, it was first time when the final game happened. And so I think some sports were evolving. I think football is always going to be a part of it. Sunday Concession, by the way, was the number one rated show over the weekend on our network, and they cover all things football, NFL. And you need to check out the show 7 p.m. Eastern time on the network every Saturday night, and then a replay tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and it's called Sunday Concession. And you need to check it out. Great show. Great guys. Number one show over the weekend. They did a fantastic job. By the way, I talked a little bit about it, but the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee, they've got some great deals going right now. Such good deals that they won't let me talk about them on the air. And I'm okay with that because it's their company. But you need to go to their website and check it out at 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. You've heard me talk about it over the months. Their coffee's fantastic. It is great. I like the dark roast. That's my thing. But they're all good. You can't beat any of them. They're fantastic. Great coffee. Great team at 7 Weeks Coffee. We had to reschedule. So originally, he was going to be on later this week. It was going to be on Wednesday, the founder. Unfortunately, due to some schedule conflict, we're going to have to do that another day. But you need to check out the coffee at 7weekscoffee.com. That's 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. When we return, hey, it's Mondays with Molly.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy. A life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Thanks to great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. That's 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. And it is Mondays with Molly. And, oh, look at Molly's really small. We need to fix that. How about making Molly bigger? That's decent. I still want it to be bigger. They did this whole update right before. Molly goes, "You're glitching." And I'm going, "I'm glitching. You're glitching." And she goes, "No, you're glitching." And I'm like, "Well, no, we're both glitching." And now we're glitching. And now we're like small. And I don't know if I like this at all. And I don't know what I can do to fix it. And you have no audio, Molly. Molly is without any audio. So see, this is just a...
You know what? Rookie move. I had my mic closed just in case, Rob decided to slip one in there. My mic was hot. That's a media 101.
It is. And have you ever been caught like without your mic on a hot mic?
There was one time but it wasn't live, but they were recording me and I was just doing some silly stuff on the anchor desk back when I was in the news. And then they recorded it and I still have it. I was like, it was just silly. And I was like, "You were recording that? The mic was hot? Like, what are you doing?" But luckily no mishaps live. Like that is. Whew.
I never had. So in radio, when I worked in radio, I had a producer and he couldn't say the word potpourri. And so he was also, for radio, you have a producer and he's your lead guy. What he does is he'll like usually introduce you back in. And so at our station, we had the bright idea to have our producers read like some community event. And so we hand him the community event. And if you ever worked in radio, you just flip. It's just a constant. That way you don't, one community event doesn't get more than the other. So you flip. So he flips. And the thing was it was an event that was a potpourri of excitement. Well, he can't say potpourri. And I'm dying. There's like 3 minutes of laughter because he's trying so hard to say potpourri. And all you hear in the background, he finally mutes my mic, is me laughing at him for not being able to say potpourri. That's my best line on my best thing on TV. And of course, when you did stand-up stuff, you had to go out. I was not fancy enough talent to where I had to, I got a camera guy. I was the camera guy. And so there were times where you'd have your earpiece in and they'd be like, we don't see your head. And I was like, huh. And stuff like that, that you were ahead of time. At least thankfully they told me before we went live. But
That's nice.
That's it. That's my big story is the potpourri thing, because literally there is 3 minutes of laughter of all you can hear me in the background. And I can't catch my breath. And I'm supposed to have a guest on, and I'm like dying. And it was like some big shot from Washington, D.C. And I can't get it together. I never could. I literally, we had to go to break. I threw it back to break, and I finally got myself controlled enough, because once I start giggling, it's over.
Right. Or I've had ones where I've had a tickle in my throat and I'm like, we just got to toss it. I'm like, I can't even get this together, but I'll take your potpourri story and level it up a second. I've never read the word crocheted out loud. I didn't even know how it was spelled. So live on air, I'm just going to say it, just brace yourself. And I said it with a straight face, crotcheted. Live on air. I said crotcheted. And then we went to break and we looked at each other. We're like, what did you just say? And I said, oh my gosh, I've never seen it spelt. So clearly I did not go over that script. A lot of people never let me live that down, but I use that in so many trainings. I'm like, at least you didn't say crotcheted live on air. Yes. And it's like, it didn't even click when I said it. Cause I'm like, they crotcheted 20 hats and blah, blah, blah. And it's like the funny bloopers, right? Like,
yes.
Be glad you weren't that person.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in broadcasting, there's why you read your script ahead of time. There is the exact reason. I remember my professor, and we're way off story today, but my professor said never open the mic without reading the script. And I was like, I was a young buck, and I was really scary talented for what even my professor said it. But no, that one bit me. There were times where I've flubbed online live stuff. You just do. Live stuff will bite you. It just does. And you have to, it's like this. It's like we're in a train wreck moment, and yet here we are. This will make great TV. People will be like, he's really stupid. And they'll be right. But it wasn't my fault. So when I planned the show originally, I tried to pick a time where they don't do updates to the mechanism we use for this. Well, that didn't happen. Now they've changed their time, so it's exact dead on to my 30.
Oh, no.
So anyway, welcome. I want to talk because everybody will want to know. You got to see your husband. Tell us about everything that went.
Yeah. So for those that are just tuning in, my husband enlisted in the U.S. Army at 31 years old at the beginning of this year, and he left at the end of March for his basic training. I got to see him the first week of June for the little break that he gets, a family day between basic training and his job training. And way too short. It was 36 hours, so quick. But I will tell you, I'm grateful. One of the things that I have realized walking away from that event of, even though I want to spend all the time that I can with him, and it was a great just reuniting and just enjoying each other, it was just being so present. I put my phone down, just really was absorbing every moment, collecting it in the memory bank, because I get to talk to him a whole 5 minutes once a month outside on the phone, and then we write letters. And it just really reminded me that the things that we want the most are literally the relationships that mean the most. But yeah, we're like, I don't have time for this, and I need to do this over here. And so many distractions just tried to come in. And that definitely tried to happen when I was with him. And I literally was like, DND, do not disturb to the world. And even friends and family around us, I said, hey, I'm the one that's without him day in and day out. I need my time. Respect that, give me my space, and really just created these boundaries, because when you get limited time, you really have to focus on what matters most. And so I am just very grateful. And in a couple weeks, we should know where we're moving for our first duty station, and he'll be wrapped up in the beginning of August, just right after our 6th wedding anniversary. So we got some big stuff coming up.
That's so cool. Congratulations on that. And you got through the big hurdle. Now this is the big thing. But that made me think of something. And, of course, by the way, Molly's new article is up on the website. You can go check it out at abundanttv.com today. But I want to talk about something that I thought of when I was preparing for today, and actually I do prepare, not though it didn't look like it at the start of this show. Just a complete train wreck. But I wanted to ask you a question, because you're dealing with this as an entrepreneur right now, and that is, with distractions happening around you, like with your husband being at basic training. How did you stay motivated with the work you needed to do while you were still, obviously going through a huge transition in your life? Easy for me to say.
That is the question of the hour, right? So it was a big release of control. In the first 4 weeks and he left, I was a train wreck. I'm like, I could barely eat and function normal. And I'm very strong mentally, but my body was not catching up physically. It was in mourning of like, where are you? Where's my person? So how I was able to do it was just keep releasing control. And then the Lord just was sharing with me, I'm rewriting how you're performing, how you do your daily strategies and your daily do's and your work. Like, are you going to rely on me, or are you going to rely on the former? And the verse that I think of is Isaiah 48:19. I'm doing a new thing. But let's look at verse 18. It says, forget the former things. And we forget that part. And so it's just, I had to really like, okay, I just give it to you, Lord, because I have no idea what it's supposed to look like, and really releasing control. And if entrepreneurship has taught me anything, that we're out there to plant seeds and steward, but God's in charge of the harvest. Same with the military. There's a lot of hurry up and wait. I have no idea what's going on, but it was just a beautiful invitation of like, okay, I'm going to do what I can. Lord, show me what the rest is. And my A-type brain wants all the checklists. I want to know what we're doing like through Friday into the next week. And some days just weren't like that. And that's okay. There were some days where if I had a white flag, I'd wave it. I'm like, I can't do anymore. Like I need a break, because there's just a lot emotionally happening. So I had to take that time and give grace for myself, which in entrepreneur land, it's like, no, keep going, suck it up, keep moving. But that's not how God works. It's like, I didn't ask that of you. Don't do that to yourself. And let's be real of what's happening, because what I've done in the past is I would steamroll over my emotions, and it would just be tucked under the rug and then come out at the worst time possible. And it's like, it could have been mitigated in real time if you just took the time. But I used to not do that. So I'm like, we can't do that anymore. So I have felt so much peace of when I need a moment, I pull back. And if I need like just time to go do something else, I will do it. And it's actually brought a lot of fruit into my business and just more flow and peace, because I'm not coming out of like striving and survival. It's like, okay, Lord, here's my season and let's steward it the best way I can.
I love that. So I want to ask you, what, with everything that's getting ready to change, what is the one thing you're excited about? What change are you excited about with your husband, getting his first assignment and all of that stuff? What is the one thing you're looking forward to the most?
I would say just being back together again. Number one, duh. I mean, like that's the number one thing.
I figured that one.
Outside of that, because it'll be nice to be back together again, it's the new journey together, the new adventure of wherever we're going to be moving. There are possibilities of us even moving out of the country. That is a possibility of us being stationed overseas. So what an adventure, right? And not looking at something like, it's like, what are the benefits? We get hung up on, this is totally going to wreck my routine or my flow. But I'm like, what are the benefits? What can I look forward to in this season? The new relationships and opportunities. And I have found personally, because I have moved so many times in my life, like almost nearly 24 times to count. And I'm now just getting into the military, which is funny. I see so many blessings when you move to new areas of where you get stretched, where things get to blossom and open up. So I'm really looking forward to that. And it's funny because other people are like, you don't know where you're moving. Like, doesn't that stress you out? Like, what's going on? And I can feel them trying to put their stress on me because it stresses them out. And I said, hey, like that spirit of fear and anxiety, that can go. Like that has no room over here, because I have been delivered from that. And we get to look at, Lord, I may not know, but you know. So like, bring on the journey.
See, I think that's so important. I love that by the way, and I think for a lot of people though, what you said is so important. They don't have the trust. I think it becomes almost a faith thing. Mm-hmm. You have to you have to say, God, this is your will. this is what you've set us up to do. I'm going to relax. And for me, that's the hardest thing, because I am a worrier and a planner. I'm both. So I worry when I'm not planning. And no, I'm serious, because I like you said, I like to know what's happening. I execute like on a daily basis the things I need to do, and it bugs me if it's not right. I had that happen to me on Friday, and my wife is so much better at this than I am. But there was something that happened Friday, and I messed up something, and it bothered me for like 2 hours. And I think the thing is in life that we have to realize is that God has a plan for everything, even the things that don't turn out the way we think they should. He has a plan, and so that's really cool. I'll give you the floor and have you say something. Let's say there's an entrepreneur out there right now who has a chaotic part of their life. Your life for the last few months has been kind of chaotic because it's a lot of uncertainty. Give them a couple of pieces of advice.
I would say the first thing is take a deep breath, then take another one, and then take another one. And it's like when we actually bring oxygen into our mind, into our body, we instantly could become more calm. So first and foremost, because when I'm in those situations, I'm kind of like short breath, and it brings more anxiety. So first of all, breathe. And like that's number one. But the second one is, what is giving you so much anxiety or chaos in your life? Like, what is it? Number one, name it. Number two, what do you have control over? And then what do you have control over? It's your thoughts. It's what you're allowing in, the boundaries you have or don't have. And then it allows you to audit, okay, where can I tame those thoughts and get rid of thoughts that aren't serving me? Where can I set up boundaries where other people are trying to bring in fear and chaos or other things? And maybe there's just a part in your life where God's like, it's time to let go. And it's time for that to like, we got to prune that thing. It's a fall season for that. Prune it so the new fruit can come. And so we're just so used to operating in chaos and dysfunction and anxiety, and we cover it up. And then we're wondering why our life is like in shambles in some areas. You have to pay attention to that. It's like if your body's in pain, we're so quick to take like a pain reliever of some sort. But when our body's in pain, we actually have to ask ourselves, like, why is that in pain? And if you're getting headaches all the time, but you're not drinking enough water, boom, that could be it, right? Or there's a pain somewhere else. If it's consistent, we have to pay attention to that. So don't be so quick to the pain relief. Listen to it, because there's a reason why God gave us that response. So then we can deal with the deeper things. Because from somebody who used to have a ton of anxiety because I was always trying to control and get a step ahead and be ahead of things because it proved my worth and worthiness, and that I was, just all of that. I was like, Lord, this is not how you've called me to live. So show me how I can renew my mind. Take a deep breath. What's happening around you? What's in your control? What are you trying to control that's not? And just be able to be like, what's next? And each day from the beginning of this year, since I knew my husband was getting into the military, I knew if I did not release control, my life would be more chaotic. And as you said, Rob, it actually probably should be in the physical, but it hasn't felt that way, because I said, Lord, I just give these plans to you because I have no clue what's going on, which has brought a lot of peace. Now, there's moments where I'm like, I would love to know where I'm living in 2 months, because right now, like, we have no clue, and we may not. And we might have to, like, stay in a hotel for a couple weeks until we figure it out. There's always a way, even if it's not the most desirable. So hopefully that was something that could serve anybody that's going through a chaotic situation. There's a lot that's out of our control that we need to just surrender at his feet, that he can take, and then just watch the peace just wash over you. And I can say I'm living proof of that. Not that it happens 24/7, but more often than not. And that's how I know it's God, because former me would be freaking out of like, I don't know where I'm living in 2 months and we're moving out of here no matter where we have the orders or not. But he does, and we'll make it work.
That's it. Hey, I want you to give, because we're sad with this. This is the last time we're going to see Molly for a little while. Over the summer, she gets relocated and everything. Give everybody one motivation for the summer. What's one thing they should accomplish task-wise over this summer?
That's good. Yeah, summer is where a lot of people here in the States, I mean, most of the people probably watching are from the States. We tend to just like pull back and relax and have a good time. But then when the fall hits, anxiety just goes whoop. So it's like what you can do over the summer is don't stop learning, don't stop growing, whether that's reading like a couple pages a day in a book that's going to spur you on spiritually, professionally, personally, auditing your thoughts of like, okay, what is serving me? I want to sit back and relax, but Lord, is that what you're calling me to do? Like, set aside maybe 30 minutes a day. If this really is your vacation time, you can take 30 to 60 minutes a day to be like, what can I do to pour into me? What can I do to pour into what I want to accomplish for the rest of this year? And let those habits stack, because we always have that amount of time. I mean, you could even do an audit, or you can even do a challenge of no more scrolling for the next 30 days of just mindless scrolling on social media. Use that to be productive and watch those habits compound. And I have done it personally and I never regret it. It's a challenge to switch off and do the better thing, but you never regret it, because I always see the regret going into the fall time of, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda going into this. Don't be that person. Go in like with peace, be steady, and know that the rest of the year is on track because you didn't let summer just slip on by and then try to hustle into the last quarter of the year.
So I was reading a business analyst that I read, and he does every mid part of the year, sometime in June, he does an audit of his goals and everything. I think that's a great summer activity. You don't have to do it in June. You could do it in July or August. And have you ever done like an audit of where you are for the year?
Oh, yes. I probably do it like every other month. I'm like doing that kind of thing of like, okay, where are we at? Because things change. There's different priorities and things shift. So yes, at least doing it 6 months into the year, or even like quarterly. But you just have to, understand that things pivot and change and the priorities shift. So it's always a great time to do that during the summer, to be like, okay, am I on track? Even if you're not, have grace for yourself. But then like make sure you're digging in and doing the work, because a lot of the reasons maybe why you aren't boils down to the personal growth and the disciplines that you have. So just audit those and create those pivots and watch things like totally turn around for you towards the end of the year.
See, I love that. Hey, Molly, have a great summer. And we will see
I'm
you
excited to be
again.
back.
We'll see you again soon. I appreciate you so much. And of course, she's a part of Salted. You need to check that out every week on the network. We appreciate you, Molly. We'll see you again soon.
Bye, Rob.
So, I think I can do this. Let's try that. Let's go here. There we go. Nope, I'm still okay. They really updated this and just totally made me feel weird about things. Molly, thanks so much for being with us. What a great show. Again, even with all the glitches, all the technical stuff. Listen, remember what you do this week. We appreciate it. Take us with you. You can download the app on your phone or Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV. We'd love to have you as part of our life. And thanks for taking part of your workday for the morning break.